How's it going, guys? I know this is not what I normally do on my channel, or, this is usually something that I would do on Patreon, because behind-the-scenes stuff is usually a Patreon thing. But the reality of things right now is that this is something to tell to my entire audience. So it's a new year, and if you guys have noticed, I haven't made anything. Not really. I made a video talking about issues of content creation, and then I've got a bunch of stuff that I've done with Viced Rhino that's been put up pretty sporadically. And that's not exactly what everybody's here for. You guys are usually here for me talking about something that I am passionate about, usually human rights, politics, religion related. Those are the areas in which my channel is located. But I'm in a weird spot. So I've hit 55,000 subscribers, which is a huge milestone that I never thought I would be able to reach. And I'm super excited about that. And I'm super happy about that. And I'm incredibly thankful for the audience that I've cultivated. But ever since mid-December, last year, which was just a month ago, so for about a month now, I've not really felt the same spark for making my content. And that's caused me to not want to get up in the morning and do my work. And there's been other stuff that's been going on in the background that's made it hard for me to so much as wake up in the morning on time to go to the gym and do work. And part of what I've been wanting to do is make sure that I am going to the gym every day, taking care of myself. And it's getting harder and harder to do that. And I need to figure out where I have to address things to fix that. I made some comments alluding to my upload schedule during the content creator video, and I kind of want to talk about some of that again here. I am uncertain if I'm going to be able to continue doing the double uploads that I do on YouTube. And the reason I'm uncertain about that is I'm not certain if I'm going to be able to keep streaming the way that I have been. My ideal is streaming Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then I have the Spicy Tech podcast at 9 a.m. on Friday, followed by the Sunset City podcast right afterwards on Friday, followed by heading to the card shop to de-stress. And then Saturday's another card shop day, and then Sunday's like date day with Saki. That's my ideal situation. Unfortunately, things have been bleeding into one another over and over again. And I don't know if it's just because of the holidays or what, but it's been way harder to wake up. It's been way harder to function. I think it just might be burnout in this space, in the space of politics and religion and even human rights. Like, these are things that I'm passionate about. I have opinions on these things that I'm never had a problem stating, loudly in many cases. But when I'm feeling this kind of burnout, it's hard for me to focus on those things. It's hard for me to talk about those things because those things get harder and harder for me to talk about. I mentioned that I was going to be doing a follow-up to the Brianna Jai case that was going on that is now concluded, and the people who did engage in that murder, they have been sentenced. I mentioned I was going to be following up on that, but every time I think about following up on that story, I remember the breakdown that I had after the first time I covered it. And while I've thickened my skin up a little bit since then, I still can't do that without thinking about everything that surrounds it for me and my life now. We're increasingly moving into a world that is more and more hostile to trans people, that is more and more hostile to people who are LGBTQ. They get labeled as groomers, they get labeled as manipulators, they get labeled as mutilators. And it's getting more difficult to deal with that rhetoric every single day. And I'm just a cishet white guy. But I know who I'm with, I know who I love, and I know the people I care about in my life. And it's getting harder and harder to envision a world that is increasingly hostile for them. And then when I think about what I can do to try to help with that, doing my content and talking about those kinds of things. But then I'm wearing myself down doing that. And this is also my job, so I have to make sure that I'm still doing it regardless of what it does to my mental health, how it affects my mental health. It's getting harder and harder to be a content creator in this space, especially because there are other things with other content creators where I feel like there's a small handful of creators that I can be friends with and talk with and hang around where I can be myself. And then there's a handful of creators where I feel like I have to be incredibly guarded around. And I feel like it was way easier to do collaborations and stuff in this space earlier on. It's a bit harder to do it now. And I don't know what the reason is for any of those things. I don't know why my brain has identified certain people as safe and certain people as unsafe outside of, when actual major falling outs have happened. I've had a few of those. There were major falling outs that happened over the years on my channel with creators who I used to respect. And some of those people simply aren't even content creators on the platform anymore. And I still don't even know how it happened. Sometimes it feels like there was a person in the background poisoning relationships that I just didn't know about. But I'm uncertain. And I don't think I'll ever know. Because those things could have been, relationships and friendships and colleagues that were poisoned by other means. Or maybe I'm the one that had a person whispering in my ear that caused falling outs. I don't know. And I don't want to name names of content creators I've had falling outs with over the years because, if you've been around, then you know what's happened over the last few years with people who I've worked with before and then suddenly stopped working with. But that's not why I'm here. My thing is, I've been doing this for 6 years. This is now year 7. Once we hit December of this year, it will be 7 years that I have done content creation in a way that can be considered a job. And when I think about my channel, there were a lot of milestones I set for myself really early on. I did a year in review, one of the first years that I was doing content, and it felt amazing to do. And now I did damn near almost 300 episodes during the year. I can't do a year in review on that. And when I think about the videos that I did, I can't say I've been particularly proud of any of them. It's just been me talking about things that I care about or things that are happening in the real world and giving my opinions on those things. And I don't know how much value that actually gives. I don't know how much value I actually have in that. And it's very hard to look at my channel as a job when I don't know if I'm getting out the same from the channel creatively as I was in the past. But then I realize if I were to make videos the way I did in the past, then I wouldn't be making enough money to survive. And Patreon helps a ton with this, obviously. I make a good chunk of money. There's a reason that my finances are mostly, publicly available. You can see how much I make on Patreon. That is a wonderful, wonderful foundation to be stable with. But I still don't know how much value I actually give onto any one platform. And my priorities are having to be split more and more right now. It's holiday season, so most of my focus has been on family stuff. And this is a time where, my partner Saki has had bad things that happen with their family around this time of year. And so when I think about, hey, can I go and work or do I go and help my girlfriend? Where do I sit with that? What do I do with that? And my answer is almost always going to be go help my partner. That's the person that I want to be is the person that chooses to help my partner in that situation. But that's just one piece of the pie. That's one piece of the conundrum of everything going on YouTube. And I think the final piece of that pie, the final piece that is most frustrating, but in such a good way, but it's so hard for the kind of content that I make, is I started a trading card game channel. And it now just hit 1,000 subscribers. And I am ridiculously happy about that. It's called Spicy Tech MTG. You can find it on YouTube. It's very, very easy. And I have been loving the content that I've been able to put on there. There's not a whole lot, but it's been a podcast in the same vein as Sunset City. And that was my way of making sure that I had something that would kick my ass into doing content on there, because I've been feeling this burnout as a creator for a very long time. And now that I'm actually able to make episodes on there, and it's mostly been stuff about one of the things that I am very passionate about in the game of Magic, which is building budget decks for people. I love being able to take the idea. I mean, hell, I can flip over to it right now. You move my character, it's still where it was for the Vice Rhino stuff. But this is the Spicy Tech channel that I've been working. Oh wow, I'm zooming myself. That's not what I intended. But this is the Spicy Tech channel that I've been working on, Spicy Tech MTG. There's my friends Gail and Bimmingham, who do content with me on the channel for the podcast side of the channel. But I've also been doing these videos where I talk about budget challenges that I've been doing for Commander. And these are decks that I have literally coming in the mail for me right now, because they cost $15 for me to build. And this is a thing that I am super passionate about. It's a thing that I talked about on my survey, I asked about on my survey, and a lot of people said they wanted me to do more stuff involving my hobbies. They wanted me to talk about things that I was really passionate about. If that's what you want to see from me, if you want to see stuff that I'm passionate about, this is that. This is the thing that I am incredibly passionate about. I love the idea of card games as a way to facilitate friendships and relationships, and trading card shops being the third place that people need to be able to go to have a more healthy and balanced life. I love making sure that the ability to play those games is available to everybody, and there's not a price stopgap for people that prevent them from being able to enjoy these games that I think are amazing to play with people. And also, if you have problems with Wizards of the Coast as a company, this also gives you a way to get a deck and play the game without supporting them directly, because you're buying singles from a local card shop. You're buying them from a place that supports your local community. So, why am I even bringing all that up? It's because I'm sitting here with a stream that is supposed to start 54 minutes ago. And I can't hit that button. I'm finding the stuff that I'm going to be talking about on the stream, what used to be something that I would gather in the early morning and get and have prepared and ready to go for videos, I'm finding the stuff that I'm going to be talking about literally minutes before a stream starts. I'm making the titles for the streams minutes before the stream starts, because that's when I'm finding out about the stuff I'm going to be talking about. Sticking with topics that I know well enough that I can just talk from an area of research opinion on. And I recognize that there is merit to that. There is certainly merit to only talking about things that are within the lane of what you understand well enough to speak on, instead of it being everything under the sun. But then I realized my channel's not functioning, that my main channel, my main job is not functioning as a creative outlet, when somehow my job is creator. And I don't know what to do, because if I stop streaming and I stop doing my regular content, then suddenly I'm going to be out literally thousands of dollars every single month. But I'll probably be in a healthier space mentally up until the point where the bills come in, and then suddenly I'm not in a healthier space mentally because I can't afford my bills. But then there's this project that I'm super, super passionate about, and I would love to be able to balance between doing that project and doing my main channel. And I don't know how to bridge that, because I know how long it takes to grow a channel to the point where it can be something, to the point where it can earn you revenue, to the point where it can function as a secondary thing. And I also know the projects I've abandoned in the past because there have been so many things in the way of doing that. I talked with Smacko recently about what it would even take for me to get to a point where I could start working on the Sonic What If series again. And the more I think about it, what it's going to take for me to do those other projects is me slimming down on what I do on my main channel. But if I do that, I'm hurting myself in the short term for what is effectively a gamble. I guess what I'm saying is I don't know what to do. This channel was my passion. This channel was the thing that I cared the most about in the entire world. And now it feels like the obligative burden that if I don't do it, nobody gets to eat. And that's not really the environment that fosters good creation. That's not the environment that fosters good content creation. It's not. I went to a party at my friend Ocean's house, a New Year's party. And I saw his plaque of 100,000 subscribers on YouTube sitting there, and I thought to myself, would I be happy if my channel hit 100,000 subscribers? Would I be? And for a minute, yeah, I'd be ecstatic. That's a number that people sometimes never get to on YouTube, and I'm halfway there. But when I think about what my channel is right now, would I really be happy at 100,000 subscribers for this channel? Or would it just be another step in the door to work? And it's not that these topics are things that I'm not passionate about in general. Of course I'm passionate about human rights. Of course I'm passionate about making sure that the world is a better place for people. I think it's monetizing it that's the problem. And once again, I don't know how to approach that. I don't know what to do to approach that in a healthy way. Regular content will continue on this channel. I'm going to be trying to do my stream tomorrow. Just nut up and do what I need to do. But I think most of my focus, most of my creative focus is going to be on the other channels. Primarily, it's going to be on the card game one, probably because of hyperfixation. I don't know. But I guess this is also me asking, hey, if that's a thing that you want to hear me talk about more, if you want to hear me talk about those hobbies, those things that I adore and love, then maybe go subscribe to that channel. Maybe go to Spicy Tech MTG. It's at Spicy Tech MTG if you just have to type it in as an @ as well. And help me develop that. Help me go on that journey with that channel. Maybe all I need is a good place for that creative outlet to go that does not suck up both my time and my mental spoons for the content that's on this channel to get a little more life in it for me, for me specifically. This isn't me holding my content hostage. I'm going to be doing it regardless. I just need to get to a point where I can do it healthily. And I think it's safe to say I can recognize that I'm not currently in a position where I'm doing the content healthily. Not really. Not if I'm honest with myself. So, this is not goodbye. This is not I'm not going to be doing content. This is not any of that stuff. This is not Suris going on hiatus. The episodes that I've done with Vice Rhino are going to be going up here in a couple days regardless. And, of course, regularly scheduled content is going to be coming out here shortly as well. But this is just kind of an honest me to you, me to the audience, about where I'm at as a content creator. And if this isn't the place to voice that, then I really don't know where is. So, let me know what you think. Comment section's down there. I'll provide a link to the channel as well. If you want to help me grow that project, watch a couple of the episodes that have been done there so I can try to get that monetized as well. so that maybe I can split my time a little more healthily between my main stuff and that channel, then maybe we'll get there. My goal is not to make more money by doubling up on the stuff that I'm doing on my main channel and then going, aha, go monetize this channel so I can make a ton more money. I want to make less money on my main channel so that I can make more content over there, so that I can talk about the things that are important, and then I can talk about the things that are important to me but don't matter as much in the grand scheme of things. So I can function as both an informer and an entertainer. And I can put those things in healthy boxes for myself. But this has been enough of a Mopey Dopey episode. I'm going to go cook some hot dogs for Saki. And then we're going to go watch some anime. And then I might figure out what more I can do on the other channel. Because right now that's... I came home yesterday from the card shop, and I knocked out 2 episodes for that channel. The next one is coming out on Thursday. I'm recording this on Wednesday. I haven't felt that creative spark to do something where I wanted to drop everything I was doing and just make something. I haven't felt that in years. And I want to keep feeling that. And I think the stuff that I make when I feel that may be important for the survival of both of those channels. Maybe. I'm not an expert. I went to therapy, so I've got somewhat of a handle on this. But I'm not currently in therapy, so I can't bounce this off of a professional. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Like I said, I'll put a link there. Thank you guys for hearing me out, for those of you who were here for the entirety of this. It's going to go to the credits now. It's going to be the same credits that you've heard a billion times. But, hey, see you over there. Insert end of video tagline here. Hey, I just quickly want to give a thank you to all of my wonderful patrons who keep this show running. YouTube and Twitch are a pretty bumpy ride at the best of times, and the stability a Patreon provides me is worth more than I can say here. I'd also like to thank each and every one of my $20 and up patrons here, and they would be Red Joker, Britzkrieg, Cameron, Dren, Jemshin, Smiling DM, Poundini, Nabbity Babbity, Naomi, Isaac, Agamotto, Jordan, Ravi, Giuni, Kiratorian, Prisma, all of you, Sagitt, I'm not saying that part, and Starlight. And finally, thank you to everyone else that helps keep this channel alive. While you're here, why not check out another video? And thank you for watching.